He was saying that he's going to operate as a wall, as a barrier between the souls of the difficult parents and the demonic. So basically, he's going to place. If you think about the story of Job, where there's a hedge of protection around Job, and so the enemy can't come at him until God removes that hedge. So it's going to be, it's kind of like the opposite of that, where with the difficult parent, they have had this, the enemy has had a hold on them, so he's able to influence them and kind of control them. And God is basically saying, I'm going to step in between that so the enemy can't get to them. So it's going to stop the contention, because without the enemy having access to them and God being that barrier, where he can't access them, it's going to stop the demonic that the parents that are hearing God have had to contend with, because they've been contending with this demon spirit that has just been sucking the life out of them, and they're trying to hold on, and they're just crying out to God, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I have been contending with the spirit for years. I'm tired. And so it's basically going to be like, okay, you have fought the good fight. Now it's time for you to stand. I'll take over. And so he's literally going to step in there as a barrier between this, the other parent that has been making your life miserable, and this spirit of contention, and it's just going to break it. So, let's see. So they're no longer going to be able to be influenced by the demonic, with that spirit of contention. And so they're going to do the will of God without even knowing why they're doing it, because it's just what's happening right now. They're being contentious, and they don't even know why they're being contentious. They don't even know they're being contentious. They think they're doing, what's right. So once that thing breaks off of them, they're going to relinquish all rights to you and don't even know why they're doing it. And that's what he means when he says it's going to be supernatural, because it's going to be a change of heart, and it's not going to be because of anything you did or said or, anything. It's just going to be the Spirit of God stepped in. So he said to look at it like it's a game of tug of war. So think about, you have been contending with this other parent like a tug of war, and you guys have been fussing and fighting back and forth, over what's the best interest of the children. And what's going to happen is God is going to flip a switch and step in, and they're just going to let go of the rope. The game of tug of war is going to be over, and you're going to win. And so, that's basically what he's saying. So he said specifically that for those parents that have been in this fight, and they have been standing, and they have been fighting, and they've been doing the best that they can, he said to tell them, I've heard your prayers. Now behold, as I answer by fire. So he is going to step in. It's going to be the wind of his favor. That's what he said in the word. The wind of his favor is going to blow, and you're going to get favor with anyone that you need to have favor with in order for you to get peace and rest for this situation. Okay, so then I asked him, after he gave me this word, what about the Child Protective Services system? Because I know a lot of clients that I've worked with are dealing with that, and so there's a lot of clients that are dealing with the family court system more than most, but then there's also a lot of them that are dealing with this Child Protective Services system, and there's corruption throughout. There's corruption through the entire mountain of government, and so Child Protective Services is no different. And so I asked him, okay, I understand what you're saying about the family courts. So what is going to happen with the Child Protective Services? Because I knew that he had to have a plan for that, because there's so many of his people that I know are hurting as a result of that system. And so this is what he had to say about that. He said, and I could hear him smiling. And he said, lost paperwork, abandoned cases. My children will appear invisible to them. They won't be able to pursue them because they won't be able to see them or find them. I will confuse their pursuit. My children will receive rest on every side from this demonic system, and it will be suddenly and unexplainable, except what I've spoken to you. My children will experience rest on every single side, and they will know that it was me answering their prayers, and I will receive the glory. So what he was saying with the Child Protective Services is that he's going to cause there to be lost paperwork and abandoned cases. And so basically they're just not going to be able to find you. The same way they were able to target you, and they were able to, pursue you, and basically harass you and bully you and single you out, they're going to just automatically not be able to find you anymore. Your paperwork is going to be gone. They're not even going to, it's going to be like you're gone without a trace. And so that without that, paperwork and without there being something signaling your name in the system, you're going to get rest that way. Because while they're trying to figure out what happened and their pursuit is going to be confused, and that's how you're going to get rest. And again, this is all supernatural. And this is what God has been speaking to me lately, is that he's just kind of been speaking to me that it's time for the manifestation of his power. It's time for the manifestation of his power. And so this is going to be a manifestation of his power. As he does this, as he gets his people out of this system and watches it crumble, is going to be done in a way that's supernatural. So that's the word that he gave me. I will be doing a series of words on this subject because this is something that God has spoken to me, and he's given me several teachings and words on it. And so I'm going to teach on it and speak on it until such time as he has, he's finished. So just be expecting that over the next few videos or however long the Lord speaks. But I had to get this one out first because this is kind of going to be the foundation, because he's speaking and building on this because he wants people to know, if you've been in this system, if you've been impacted by this system, every single solitary thing that people have done to you, every single time your name has been slandered, every time that, you've had to deal with a corrupt attorney or a corrupt judge or a corrupt, guardian ad litem, all the people in this system that have been corrupt and that have bullied the people of God, God saw that. He didn't, it's not like he was nowhere to be found. He saw exactly how they treated you, and he saw the seeds that they sowed by doing that, and they're getting ready to reap their harvest. And so as they reap their harvest, he's going to get vengeance and recompense for you. And so as he begins to do that, this is how he's going to do it. The word says, when we've done all we can, stand. And so now is our time to stand. We have done everything that we can. We have been contending against the spirit, and we have been standing and holding our ground for the Spirit of God, saying, no, I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to let this demonic spirit of Baal have my children. And so God is saying, okay, I get it. Well done. I'll take it from here. And so watch and have faith and be watching to see what he's going to do, because he is getting ready to manifest his power like we've never seen before. And all of this fussing and fighting that we've been having to do and trying to contend with this demonic spirit is getting ready to just be gone in an instant. In an instant, it's going to be fixed, and we're going to receive peace and rest, and we're going to be able to go forth and do what God's called us to do as it pertains to raising our children. So watch and be looking for that, and be praying for that, and be standing on the word of God. So I wanted you to get that message out to you guys, because it's going to be important, as I continue to speak on this subject going forward. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. God bless you, and I will speak to you next time. Hey guys, Amanda Nicole here. I wanted to talk to you about the newest Finding Your Purpose course. So that is the second course that's been released in the school, and it is for those who are dealing with divorce or who have emerged from the divorce and they feel like, man, I have lost myself. I don't know who I am. I don't know what God's called me to do. And I just need to get to know who I am and what my gifts and talents are and what I should be doing. And so I hear that all the time from my clients, where they feel like, I've just lost myself. I don't know what God's called me to do. And I just feel stuck. I feel like I don't have a purpose. I don't know what I'm called to do. And if you're wanting to discover what God has called you to do, what gifts and talents he has in your life, then the Finding Yourself While Seeking Your Purpose course is for you. Get that course today. We talk about how to hear God in terms of what your plan, his plan and purpose for your life is, how to discover your purpose, and how to really go about doing that. Because it's so important when we're going through divorce. is just can help it be so much better if we can redirect ourselves to thinking about what God has called us to do and participating in that, instead of wallowing over how long the divorce process is taking or how difficult it is or how hurtful it is. If you can focus your energy on doing what God's called you to do, which is the whole purpose of the school, is making sure that you can go from divorce to destiny, to really understand what God calls you to do, this course is for you. It's called Finding Yourself While Seeking Your Purpose.